Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to be talking about dental general anesthesia deaths. So let's get right into it. Dental procedures are normally safe and result in a great outcome. However, in rare occasions, tragedy can strike, and the worst result can come about from what should have been just a routine dental procedure. In those rare situations when someone dies in a dental chair, it's often because of issues relating to general anesthesia. And while such cases are extremely uncommon, they underscore the importance of following protocol and exercising caution when sedating a patient. General anesthesia in dentistry is often utilized for complex and lengthy procedures, and it can be a great way of managing pain and ensuring that patients don't move around during an operation. General anesthesia is a way of maintaining a controlled state of unconsciousness that is, by all means, considered safe when administered by a qualified and competent professional. However, the administration of general anesthesia carries with it serious risks, heightened by factors such as the patient's health, the dosage of anesthesia, and the doctor's expertise. So what is dental malpractice in the context of a dental general anesthesia death? Dental malpractice occurs when a dentist fails to provide the standard of care that a reasonably competent dentist would under similar circumstances. And this breach of the standard of care results in harm to the patient. When discussing a dental general anesthesia death, malpractice might include the improper administration of anesthesia, the failure to properly monitor the patient while the patient is sedated, the failure to properly evaluate the patient's medical history and assess that patient's unique health risks, and a failure to take prompt and proper action in the event that something goes wrong. Death from dental general anesthesia can occur due to various complications, such as aspiration, anaphylaxis, or respiratory failure. It's a horrific outcome that can leave a family grappling with loss and seeking answers. In these situations, it's critical to ascertain whether the standard of care was breached and whether that breach directly led to the patient's death. If so, the family may be able to pursue a wrongful death claim for their loss. The aftermath of a death related to dental anesthesia is emotionally and legally complex. Pursuing a malpractice claim requires a thorough investigation into the circumstances of the anesthesia administration. The dentist's qualifications and actions are also extremely important. And also, we have to establish a causal link between the malpractice and the patient's death. Generally speaking, a person bringing a wrongful death claim after a dental general anesthesia death will need to prove the four key elements of negligence: duty, breach, causation, and damages. Namely, and most importantly, they will need to establish that the dentist breached the standard of care and thus was negligent. And they will also need to establish that the dentist's negligence was the cause of the patient's death. An in-depth investigation is critical for establishing a strong medical malpractice claim. This process often involves collecting medical records and anesthesia charts and then consulting with medical experts to determine whether the dentist breached the standard of care. If so, the expert can explain how the standard of care was breached in an affidavit, and this expert affidavit can then be used to initiate a claim for dental malpractice. In many states, including Florida and South Carolina, a claimant must have this affidavit from an expert to initiate a medical malpractice claim. In other words, you can't simply allege that the dentist was negligent. You need the testimony of a similar dental professional to establish the dentist's negligence, and that's required under the law. Now, it's important to note that dental malpractice claims are subject to a strict statute of limitations, which varies by state. Timely legal action is imperative, otherwise, the opportunity to seek justice may be lost. In Florida and Georgia, the statute of limitations for medical malpractice is generally 2 years. And in South Carolina, the statute of limitations for medical malpractice is generally 3 years. So, what should you expect if you bring a dental malpractice case for wrongful death of a loved one? Well, dental malpractice cases can be resolved through settlements, or they may proceed to trial if a settlement can't be reached. A settlement may provide compensation without the uncertainty of a trial, But if the parties can't reach a fair agreement, there's only one option left. Litigation then may be the only and the best course to pursue proper justice. With all the talk about pursuing a case for wrongful death, the next question I want to address is the proper plaintiff. In other words, who can bring a wrongful death lawsuit? Well, this may vary in some states, but typically the personal representative of the deceased person's estate is the proper plaintiff in a wrongful death case. The court will generally appoint a personal representative, and the personal representative is often named in the deceased person's will. Thus, this is a small procedural hurdle to initiating a wrongful death case. Well, that's all I have for you today. If you've lost a loved one as a result of a dental general anesthesia death, this is something you should never have to deal with, and you may have the right to pursue a wrongful death claim. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us if you think you need help. We're happy to give you a free legal consultation and discuss your potential options with you. All you have to do to schedule a free consultation is call us at the number below in the video description, or you can look us up at www.spetsasbuist.com. That's SPETSASBUIST.com. And thank you so much for watching this video, and we'll see you next time.